to the Mastering the DFS Lineup Optimizer video series. I'm Simon, the lead apps developer with Footballguys, and this video is on the advanced controls in the Lineup Optimizer. So out of the box, once you've entered your contest details at the top of this screen, the Lineup Optimizer is automatically going to select the right amount of upside and uniqueness, and it's going to go ahead and do a lot of these things automatically to generate those high upside unique lineups. But sometimes you may want some more control over the process, and that's when the advanced controls come in. So we're going to go through these one by one and just explain what it does and why you might want to use it. So the first one is stacks. I've checked show all possible stacks here, which gives you all the options. The red ones are negative correlation plays, so that's going to lower the upside of a lineup, and the green ones are positive correlation plays, which obviously increase the upside of a lineup. So I've just gone down to the basic ones that we recommend that you play with. So let's say that I want to find a lineup where I've got at least one same team wide receiver as my quarterback, at least one same team tight end, and one opposition wide receiver. And let's build 20 lineups with those settings. Just make a couple of changes here to our player pool. Found a Patrick Mahomes stack. So if we click on this lineup to see in a bit more detail, we can see we've got Mahomes against Jacksonville, and he's got his tight end wide receiver there, and the opposing wide receiver with D.D. Westbrook. So that's a pretty good stack there, and we've got them charted up here as well, so you can find the highest upside stack was that lineup we were just looking at. We've also got some Raven stacks here with Lamar Jackson, Willie Snead, Mark Andrews, and their opposition in week one is Miami, so we've got Devontae Parker in there as well. So it's going to generate a bunch of different lineups for you following those settings. The next one we're going to look at is projection randomness. What this is going to do is while the algorithm's running, every time it assesses players, it's going to choose a number between 0 and the number we enter here, and it's either going to add that or deduct it as a percentage off each player's projection. So this is going to create some lineups for us that are overall not as good as the lineups that we'd otherwise see, but it's going to create some different lineups, and you're going to see a higher variance amongst the players it selects. So usually you'll see that the optimizer has a certain preference for 1, 2, or 3 quarterbacks, but if we put this up to 20% and then run a build, we'll see that it selects lots of different quarterbacks and it gives you a wider kind of variety of lineups out the other side. So scrolling through the list here, you can see there's a few different quarterbacks that we've looked at. We've got a couple of good lineups here. We've got a Kyler Murray stack, and there's another Murray stack. So and then a Russell Wilson stack up there as well. So it's perhaps a more unusual lineup that you might not otherwise see without the randomness in builds. And you'll also see that obviously the overall quality is not as great as well towards the bottom. So certainly use the randomness feature with a view to deleting those lineups that don't quite get to the required standard for you. The flex control is next up. Sometimes you might see that the lineup optimizer is putting too many tight ends in the flex for your liking. And while that can be a great play, often you get better upside at the wide receiver position or even the running back position. So this is just a chance to go in here and to change the balance of those players that it puts in the flex for you. If we run a build with only running back set to a number greater than 0, what we're going to see when we generate some lineups is that they should all have running back in the flex. And we can see that here, every single running back in this column here, just below where my mouse is, that's the flex column. So every single lineup that we just generated had a running back in the flex. Moving on to team limits. There are quite a few reasons why you might use this screen. So you might be trying to force stack certain teams. So if you did a stack, you're saying, I want to stack a quarterback always with one wide receiver and one tight end. Well, if you wanted that to be from a specific team, you could either lock the quarterback into the lineup, or you could come in here and set a minimum of 3, because realistically, the only way the lineup optimizer is going to include 3 players from that team is in that stack. The other thing you can do to try and really get those high upside lineups is set a maximum for each team. So while same team quarterback, wide receiver, and tight end stack can work out for you, having 4 players from the same team probably can't, because there's just not enough fantasy points to go around on each NFL team. So what we can do is we can come in here and we can set all max to 3, hit edit, and all these 10s would go to 3. And that is just going to keep all of those lineups so that no NFL team has more than 3 featured. Lastly, here we've got cap controls. So this just sets a range within which the cap of each lineup generated must sit. So the main way we see this being used is you can force your own uniqueness here, and our uniqueness calculations do take this into account when deciding how unique a lineup is. You can force uniqueness by going to a lower maximum cap, just because when people get to 49,500 on the cap, they can usually find a way to spend that remaining $500 to improve their lineups, and most people would choose to do that. So that means if you have a lineup valued at 49,500 or lower, that's generally a very unique lineup, and that's going to prevent things like splitting prize pools and that kind of thing at GPP. So we'll just run a quick build at that. So there's 49.5 and rebuild. So here we are at the other side of the build, and you can see that all of the caps are no more than 49,500. So that's done exactly what we asked it to. And if that's one way that you want to generate unique lineups, there they are. So thanks for watching, and we've got some more videos to come in this series, so please subscribe to our channel, and if you've got any comments or questions for us, just let us know right here on the video. Thanks.